Hi, this is Charlie Page, and now it's time to talk about what is a mini course. Let's get a really good definition of what a mini course is so that we can get about the business of designing your mini course and getting it out there, making sales, building your list, and doing the things you want it to do. Here's what a mini course is. It's a series of short lessons that help the viewer to make progress. That's basically it. Now, as you're going to see in a minute, this could be delivered to people in many different formats, and it can be about many different topics, but at its core, the definition is it's a series of short lessons that help the viewer make progress. That's the name of the game. You want the person who's receiving the lessons to actually benefit from it. Now, the course takes them from where they are now one step, and you notice I capitalized that, one step toward where they want to be. Not all the steps, one step, or maybe a couple. Just one step, or maybe a couple of steps along the process. The key is to be useful but incomplete. You really do want to help people with your mini course. You want it to be useful so they learn something, they can do something, they can try something. And they've made progress, but if it's not incomplete, if you tell them the whole story, they'll never buy your product. Mini courses are short. Clients ask me sometimes if 14 lessons are too many. I had one fellow ask me not too long ago if 90 different lessons, 90 lessons was too many. And yes, that is, 14 is too many. This is the nature of a mini course. You know, we live in a distracted world. We live in a world where news stories appear all the time about the dangers of multitasking. Don't text and drive. You know, in my city, we just passed a law where you can't use a cell phone while you're driving unless it's hands-free. People are super distracted nowadays, and that needs to stop, but until it does, we have to accommodate it. And the truth is, mini courses do great because they're short, actionable little baby steps to get a person from where they are to where they want to be more quickly. So 14 is too many. I suggest this. Now, as I go through the course, I'm going to make very specific suggestions based on my experience, but I want you to know this is not a one-size-fits-all proposition. So as I make suggestions, as I ask you to fill in the blanks on the documents we provide, realize that your situation could be different than other people's situations. It will be different. It's different than mine. So these are guidelines, but I do want to give you specific suggestions along the way based upon my experience. So here is what I suggest, and this would be a universal suggestion. I would suggest this for everybody making a mini course, whether you're in health and fitness, whether you're in relationships, or whether you're in a make money online type thing, or you're in real estate. No more than 7 lessons in your mini course and no fewer than 3. So between 3 and 7 short lessons works best in testing. Now, we'll discuss how often you send those out and what formats they're in and how do you notify people. All of that is going to be discussed in the course. But for now, we're just defining a mini course, so let's not get too deep into that. We'll discuss all of that in another module. But bear this in mind. A mini course is a short course designed to help a person take a step, and it's between 3 and 7 lessons long. This is content marketing at its finest. It really is. You know content marketing works. It does. But sometimes it's hard to do. We have blogs and we feel guilty because we don't post every day. We want to write a book and put it on Amazon, but who's going to write a book? This is content marketing you can do because it's a little mini course, 3 to 7 short lessons about a topic you already know. You can do that, and it is content marketing at its finest. This really is one of my top marketing methods now. I have mini courses for everything and create them for everything. This is content marketing that's helpful to people, which is a beautiful thing. It's automated to deliver, which is one of my favorite things. Do the work once, get paid many times. It's persuasive because it doesn't try to go from a cold, hey, here's my name, hello, I'm shaking your hand for the first time, now come over here and spend $5,000 with me. It little by little persuades a person that you're credible. Little by little it persuades a person that what you have to say makes sense. And as they consume the 3 to 7 modules that you provide for them, over a period of time, that's going to take a week to 2 weeks. As they do that over time, they begin to like you, to trust you, and that's when they'll buy from you. It's authoritative. Now, if you produce a mini course in your product area, whatever your niche is, it doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter if you outsource it. It doesn't matter if you work with a joint venture partner or you've created it yourself. Like me, you're recording a video. You will be seen as an authority simply because you produce the mini course. This has worked every single time that I've done it with a client. They're seen as authoritative even when they're curating content, even when they're using other people's content ethically, with permission and with attribution. They're seen as authoritative, And the reason they're seen that way is they're the ones delivering the content. So this is a very, very important part of using a mini course, is that it's going to build your authority. You're going to have something that you can say to people, hey, I designed this course about this thing, and you can get it over here. That's very powerful. And it's shareable. This is a beautiful thing too. Now, you have a choice to make, and we'll deal with the specifics of this in a future module, but you have a choice of whether people can share it or do they have to opt in to get it. But this is the type of content that is super shareable and can go viral because it is helpful and it is free. So it's beautiful content marketing. Now, let's talk about a couple of things. Number one, what type of content works best? And by what type of content, I mean, should you tell the whole story, a little bit of the story, that type of thing? Well, a mini course can be almost anything you want it to be. I've been studying this for a long time, doing it for a long time, and working with clients on it for a long time. And I've seen mini courses take many, many different forms and iterations. So it can be just about anything you want it to be. But these two approaches to what type of content you're going to use work best. So bear this in mind. You can do just about anything you want to do, and if you send me your plan, I'll be happy to look at it. But these two approaches are where I would start. They work best. Approach number one, a high-level overview, a big picture overview, what I call the 30,000-foot view. You want to give your reader, your prospect, a big picture view. So here's an example. What is email marketing and how can it help me? Now, if you know very much about email marketing, you know that you can have an e-zine or a newsletter. You can build a list and do broadcasts. You can have follow-up systems. You can do many, many things with email marketing, right? You can run specials and offer coupons, and the list goes on and on. But sometimes people will hear, I need to do email marketing, but they don't really know what email marketing is. It's like pay-per-click. A lot of people are told, hey, go do some pay-per-click or solo ads. Hey, go run a solo ad, and they don't even know what a solo ad is. So this foundational information that you can teach people in a free mini course, it builds your authority huge, and it really, really helps them. So this would be an example of one topic, a big picture topic, email marketing, that you could do a mini course about. You could do it about buying real estate. You could do it about weight loss. You could do it about many things, but it's a big picture overview. Now, this approach works best if you're selling multiple products. So if you're a person who owns many different products, I myself own 16 of them, so this approach works well for me. But if you're selling multiple products, or you're an affiliate and you're promoting multiple products, this high-level overview approach works very well, because here's why. You're setting the stage by providing information to the person about the topic. Let's say it's email marketing or internet marketing or that type of thing. You're providing a high-level overview, a big picture, and now you can say to that person, here's where this product fits, here's where that product fits, here's where this other product fits. So you can sell multiple products using a big picture overview. See what I'm saying? Now, approach number two is the opposite of the big picture 30,000-foot thing. This is the deep dive into one topic. This is really specific information about one particular thing. It's very actionable and it's very specific, so it has a little bit of a different characteristic than the big picture, I'm teaching you about this topic. This is more of a how to do things type of thing, so it's much more actionable and specific. Here's an example. How to use Drip, which is an autoresponder company I use and like and recommend, not how to use an autoresponder. Although doing a mini course on how to use an autoresponder, perfectly fine if you're promoting multiple autoresponders. But if you want to promote drip, then do a mini course about how to use their service, not how to use an autoresponder. You see the difference? The first one is a big picture overview. What is email marketing? Email marketing includes autoresponders, it includes design, it includes building a list. Here, we're deep diving into how to use one particular tool. Other specific topic ideas would be how to create a squeeze page. That would be a very good deep dive into one particular type of what you have to do online in order to make money. So if you want to succeed online now, whether you're a company who's taking your physical company online or you're a person who's working from home and wants to make affiliate income, you got a squeeze page. You got to have a squeeze page these days, right, to build your list. So how to create a squeeze page is a deep dive into that one aspect of marketing online. How to build your list, another narrow slice of digital marketing, but a very good topic, so you can deep dive that. How to lose 25 pounds. That's a very good deep dive thing. You could present several options and you could say to them, here's the option I recommend, or you could promote supplements, you could promote workout gear, you could promote workout clothes, you could promote a workout system like a P90X. So if you did a deep dive into how to lose 25 pounds, that's a very narrow topic as opposed to how to get in good health, how to live to be 100. So you see the difference? You're not doing the big picture, how to be in perfect health. You're doing a deep dive into this specific weight loss category. Landing a job is another thing. That could be a deep dive. This approach works best for promoting one product. I mentioned that already, but I want to drive this home because mixing up these approaches can be a mistake. In other words, if you do a big picture approach and you're trying to promote one particular product by using that big picture approach, you're going to create confusion in the mind of the prospect because they're going to be reading about many things they could do. Now, if you're trying to promote one product, you want to go a deep dive on that particular product. So this approach, this deep dive approach, works best for promoting one product. If you do a mini course about how to use an autoresponder, let's say that it's Active Campaign or it's Drip or it's Entreport, then that's going to automatically set up a situation where you can easily promote that one product. And I like this approach personally because it focuses the mind of the prospect. Now here's something that's very important. We're going to cover this in more detail in another module, but I want you to know that it can happen because it's important to your planning. These mini courses can be stacked on top of each other for maximum impact. And let me tell you exactly what I mean by stacked. Let's say, for example, you do a high-level overview mini course on email marketing. You talk about email marketing design and building a list and doing all those things. Once that mini course is over, you can automatically send them to a deep dive into using the autoresponder you're promoting. See how beautiful that is? It's like a real handoff, and it's very logical. You've given them the big picture. Here's email marketing. You've gotten them excited about email marketing, but there's not really a specific action they can take quite yet. So they've got an itch they can't quite scratch, and you come back with another mini course, which is a deep dive into a specific autoresponder. This increases conversion like crazy. So stacking these on top of each other, I'm going to show you in this course, I'm going to show you how to make many different mini courses for yourself, and so bear in mind they can be stacked on top of each other. So here's my recommendation. Like I said, I'm going to give you specific recommendations as we go. If you have questions, you can ask them of me, but here's my recommendation at this point. If you have deep knowledge on a product, start there. So if you already have deep knowledge and really know a particular product and it's the product you love or the business opportunity or the thing that you love and you want to promote that, start there because that creates sales more quickly. Deep dive mini courses create sales more quickly than do big picture mini courses. So if you've got specific knowledge, start there. If not, go for the high level overview because that's going to create a group of people who are interested in many different products. All right, so that's the type of content, right? Big picture or deep dive. That's where I recommend that you go. You can do anything you want, but I recommend you either consider the big picture overview or the deep dive. Now, what format works best? So these lessons can be in many different formats, and by format I mean, is it written, is it video, that type of thing. Let's take a look at which formats work best. First of all, and after I finish this list, I'm going to give you my recommendation, as I'm going to throughout this entire course. PDF downloads are very popular and very powerful because PDFs live on people's computers forever. I mean, I found PDF the other day I had from 2009. And if you know how to name your PDF right so that when people search their computer they find it, those PDFs can work for you over and over and over again, especially if you put links in them in a very strategic way. So PDF downloads, very powerful, very popular. People are used to it and they like it. Blog posts are great for mini courses. Now, this is a little bit more than just a multi-series of blog posts, right? A lot of people will write a 3-part series of blog posts. A mini course is a little bit different than that, and I'll show you that a little bit later. But blog posts are a great format for delivering your mini course. Video works very well, videos like this. Most of my mini courses are video because I like making video, and for me it's easy, I'm used to it. But it's not by any means necessary. If you never make a video in your life, you'll be able to succeed very, very well with mini courses. In fact, I have a friend whose name is Jimmy Brown. You probably know who Jimmy Brown is. Never appears on video, almost never makes audio, does a lot of mini courses, and they're all written PDFs. He does very, very well. YouTube videos are good if you're creating the type of mini course where you don't require an opt-in. And there are pros and cons to that, so you just have to decide what is your goal. We're going to talk about that a little bit. So YouTube videos can be very effective because they can be viral, they can be spread and shared from one person to another. Private Facebook groups are very powerful for a mini course. Require that a person join your Facebook group in order to access your mini course, which people will do all day long. And when they do, you've really got their ear in a way that you wouldn't if it was just email or if you were doing something else. So this is an area that's not talked about very often, but it's very powerful if you do it well. Create a private Facebook group. It's quite easy to do. Facebook has very good tutorials on this. First time I tried to do it, I thought, oh my goodness, I have no idea how to do this. I don't really get Facebook. I did it like in 3 minutes. So private Facebook groups are a great way to deliver a mini course. And then you've got their attention, you begin a conversation, you become a real person to them. And that is very powerful. The phone is an old school tool. I'm kind of an old guy. I like the phone. Sometimes I'll tell people, call me, don't text me. You know, I don't like texting on the phone. And I know I'm probably a crotchety old dude, but the phone is still a very effective tool because you can hear a person's intonation, you can have a conversation, get direct answers. Don't overlook the phone. Now, you don't have to give them your home phone number. You know, there are services like Ring Central, that's what we use, that'll provide you with an 800 number or a different number. Skype has a phone number that you can get for something like $20 a year. That's a phone number that won't ring in your home. It doesn't, violate your privacy. But the phone can be a very, very powerful tool for doing a mini course. What you do is you just deliver the content via phone. Sometimes you do that one-to-one. Depends upon the price point of your product. If you're selling a $3,000 product, you can afford to have 3 or 5 conversations with a person by phone if they're qualified as a prospect. So it can be one-to-many or it can be one-to-one. Skype is, of course, a wonderful tool for this because you can have a conversation with many people at one time completely free over Skype. So that's really powerful and something not to be overlooked. Email, of course, is a very common method and, in my opinion, one of the most powerful. But I have to be candid, as much as I love email marketing, I'm not saying one size fits all. If your market is email centric, in other words, if people are succeeding with email marketing, or if you are in your market, then by all means use email because it can be automated, it's powerful, and when used well, nothing returns on investment like email. But there are certain niches that just aren't great for email, so I want you to have lots of options. A physical mailer can be done too. You can send a 3 or 5 part course by physical mail. Now there's some cost to this. There's some setup. You can use a company like Send Out Cards to do the work for you, but you can send a series of pieces of mail to a group of people if your price point supports it and if the specificity of your market is there. In other words, if you've identified a group of prospects that are really qualified prospects, and when they buy, you're going to make really good money, you can afford to do physical mail, and it's surprisingly effective because not many people do it anymore. So what format do I recommend? I'm going to make a specific recommendation, which is email follow-up using an autoresponder at first. And the reason I say this is because it's easy to do and people expect it. It's really easy to put it in place. If you're using an autoresponder now, it's very easy to create a short series of messages that either contain the content for your mini course or point to the content for your mini course. That's what I do. I put my content for my mini course on web pages, and then I send little short emails saying, hey, video 3 is ready, click here to go get it. That's the easiest to put in place as an autoresponder system. Customers are used to it. We live in an email-centric world. People opt in all the time, and email is very powerful. Plus, it can be completely automated. I really love that. I have 2 mini courses that I created in a day, including writing the emails and putting them in my autoresponder. So they're running right now completely automated, and that is wonderful. So now it's time for Module 2. We're going to move on to Module 2, and that'll be a different video. You'll be in a little bit different space for that. But first, let's do this. Review your notes if you're taking notes, and think about this. What type of mini course might you use first? Remember, the idea right now for me is that you're probably going to create multiple mini courses. And what I want you to do is get used to the idea of thinking about what type of mini course you might want to use first. So you don't need to decide now, but it's really good to think about it now as you progress through the course. And I hope you go through the course the way I've laid it out, because it's important to have these good solid foundations and not skip ahead. So think about this for me right now. Are you more inclined to do a big picture where you're going to promote multiple products? Or are you more inclined to do a deep dive where you're going to promote one specific product? That's really kind of the first thing to get in your mind. Again, you don't need to sign a piece of paper or make a hard decision right now, but it's good to be thinking about as we progress into how to structure it, how often to deliver it, things like that. It's a good idea to have in your mind, is this a big picture overview that I'm going to start with, or am I going to do a deep dive? Okay, and now we're going to go on to Module 2, why use a mini course. Don't skip this one. I really want you to get down deep inside you the reasons why this mini course idea can be so good for you. Because let me tell you, if you go through this training and you follow the guides and you fill in the blanks and you take the steps, you're going to have a mini course, and that little rascal's going to be out there working for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And that is a beautiful thing. All right, this is Charlie Page. Thanks for being with me, and I hope you have a wonderful day.